Today, we are putting on the new graphics for the go-kart. These are the graphics right here. They look absolutely amazing. And this is the go-kart right now, without any graphics. So, without further ado, we are going to start and show you the whole entire process. So to some people, it may be easy. To some people, it may not be. As you can see here, there's a lot of soap, a lot of cleaning having to be done because all these parts were super dirty. So it has to be cleaned before you do anything else. And then from there, put as much soap as you can, wash it down, make sure they are squeaky clean because all these parts, depending on who you do the graphics with, these graphics stick, so they need a good surface to stick on. So you want them to look good, so you gotta make sure you clean all the parts, the front and the side pods. And this right here is the process of putting it together, starting with obviously the side pod with a heat gun. You want to obviously use a heat gun, and then you need to take your time. As you can see here, basically my whole entire family is helping the process. My mom is holding, my grandma's holding the heat gun, I'm recording while also holding the back, and my dad's doing the placing. It obviously does not take 3-4 people to do it, but my dad is a perfectionist, so he wants it to be as perfect as possible, so he gets everyone to help out, and we try to get them as perfect as possible. And then obviously this right here is the next step, which is the top part of the side pod. This one is probably the easier of the portion because it is a small portion, but it does take a bit of time if you are looking for perfection. So once again, you have to peel the fabric depending on who you're doing it with. Slowly just stick it on and use the heat gun. Slowly just place it and repeat it until there's no bubbles or any type of dirtiness that actually can stop it from sticking. You can see my dad here just taking his time, making sure it's perfectly balanced and placed. My mom helping out, holding the object while I record. My grandma there holding the heat gun while my dad is placing. We're all doing this together. It takes a lot of time. I think we took about, I would say, 2-3 hours. I would say 3 hours, so about 2 hours to do the whole entire process because we wanted it to look good and not look bad. And then this is the completed side pod, and top part looks very solid, and I'm very happy how it came out. I designed it, and it could have not ended out any better. And then from there, we have to start doing the front, starting with the top. You want to start with the top. We accidentally started with the bottom in the video. As you can see here, we started with the bottom. We actually had to redo it off screen to fix it, but you want to start, at least in a Tony kart, the top, because the top will give you a better bearing as where the bottom one goes. So don't do what I'm doing, because this is not the correct way to do it, because it becomes a lot harder when you start with the bottom. We started with the bottom. We had to slowly put it on. We were actually able to put on the top, thankfully, but after putting on the top, we literally took off everything from it, re-put it back on, starting from the top to the bottom to make sure it was perfect. But out of everything, this front bumper, the Tony kart specifically, probably one of the hardest ones. We struggled the most with the front bumper. This was the one that took the most time to complete. As you can see here, my dad is just going back and forth on sticking, resticking, unsticking, resticking, because there was so many bubbles, and it just did not come out how he wanted it to. You could see him putting some more heat, trying to expand it so it would actually fit the area, because it wouldn't actually, it really would just not look good. So it definitely took some time to get it right and perfect. This is definitely a process, and it's probably easier to do it yourself than to pay someone to do it. You could save a little bit of money. I suggest you do it. If you don't want the hassle, pay someone to do it, because it is a pain if you are on your own. Okay, you see here we're putting on the top portion now. The top portion was definitely harder to put on first. I mean, second. Then putting the bottom one first. Just to kind of tell you what you should have done. Should have put the top one and then overlapped it with the bottom. That's what should have been done. And then here's the final product with everything put together. Obviously I don't have any good footage of the front hood being made, but we do have these beautiful pictures that were sent by me. Shout out to Fernando, amazing guy, sent me these photos. This car is great, and can't believe that I got this design. Thank you to my parents for helping me make this design, specifically to my dad. And thank you to Extreme Car Wraps for printing the design. Thank you very much. This is how you create the design, or at least the process of putting it on the car. It does take a while, but at the end of the day, I think it's very worth it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys later.